Well, happy, beautiful, amazing day. I'm Dr. Bobrakowski, Blue Diamond out of Houston, Texas. Beyond excited to share with you this core training system. You're going to have myself and multiple other diamonds sharing the strategies that we've used not only to achieve core rank, but to duplicate that multiple levels deep, which, by the way, creates phenomenal impact as well as phenomenal income. So this strategy, I believe, is the most effective campaign today for all of network marketing. Part of a mastermind with Eric Worre, as is Diane Solano. You see these groups all over the world really, really crushing it. And what's the most effective campaign they have? Very, very simply, core rank. If you can achieve core rank, you can duplicate core rank. And if you can teach that, then there really is no limit. So here's a book that I really enjoyed. It was entitled, If How-Tos Were Enough, We Would All Be Skinny, Rich, and Happy. Now, think about that for a moment. Is there a shortage of knowing how to do things? Do people know how to lose weight? Hey, eat better, eat less, move more. It is not rocket science. So, but how many people are doing it? Not enough. Let's put it that way. So, the how to certainly is a part of it, but the why to and the who is even more important. So throughout this, I'm going to share with a number of quotes. I'm a huge fan of quotes because the best teachers I know really don't claim credit for anything. They seek wisdom, they find wisdom, they share wisdom, and they credit the original source. So how about this? Who you are is more important than what you do. Now, I want you to think about that for a moment. Do you know that to be true? They've done crazy analogies. They show a football, and how much is this worth? They would ask. And who knows, 25 bucks, 50 bucks, great football. What if you put it in the hands of Tom Brady? Billions, maybe tens of billions. So think about that. It's the who that really drives the show. So we can ask artificial intelligence almost anything. And, I know it scours the entire internet. I know there's a few flaws in it. It's ever evolving. But how fascinating is this concept? So I asked AI, I asked GPT, tell me about this. What's more important, who you are or what you do? And the answer was very, very clear. It's going to be the 80-20 rule, the Pareto principle. Who you are is going to be 80% of the success. What you do is going to be 20%. So let's look at that. Who you are, your mindset, your attitude, your emotional intelligence, meaning, how well can you get along with people? Because we are emotional creatures. We want to have character. We want to have integrity. When we start talking about those two factors, you cannot make a good deal with a bad person. Now, I'm hopeful that every bad person can become good. And certainly in this environment, we lead people in that direction. And then finally, self-awareness. And then what do? Well, actions and behaviors, those are certainly important. Skills and knowledge, important. Execution might actually be the top of that amazing blend. So you certainly want to become the type of leader that you would follow. If you wouldn't follow you, how could you possibly ask anybody else? And now this is a deep knowing. This is not superficial. This is not, trivia knowledge. This is deep knowledge of what we have, how good organo is, how good reishi, Ganoderma is. There's Kelly and I on stage. We're getting, a nice award as new Blue Diamonds. And then you see some nice rings that Organo gifted us. But here's a very simple fact. Actually, I shouldn't say they gifted us. We earned it. We can't make income claims, but that ring means something. So here's a fact. We absolutely trust that if you knew what we knew, you would do what we do. And by the way, if you do what we do, as we do it with the mindset and heart set behind it, I think you're going to be profoundly successful. So what are we offering? We are offering a proven path to better. A better you with better products, with better systems in a better business model. So VIP, here is the how to. Go to page 17 of the compensation plan. And very, very simply, you'll see it written out in words, but you need to personally sponsor 2 people. Easy enough, or maybe not, right? You may have to build that skill set to get there. You have to have 100 a personal qualifying volume, and each of the people you sponsor has to have at least 50. Now you are in the game. And then below them, In that organization, they have to develop at least 1,250 on each, on each of those personally sponsored people. They don't even have to be right and left, but I highly recommend they are. And how fascinating, once you're there, you unlock the wealth of the compensation plan. Now, in this business, and probably nearly all, we learn by doing. Words don't teach, actions do. One of the 100+ books I read on network marketing most recently said, you know what? Network marketing is not taught, but it's learned by doing. It's the action of doing it that allows you to move forward. Now, I'm a big fan of Stephen Covey, his 7 strategies of highly effective people. And one of his strategies was very, very simply to begin with the end in mind. Where do you want to go? How are you going to unlock every level of the organo compensation plan? So very, very simply, we need customers. Customers are absolutely the lifeblood of every business. And Organo stepped up their game. If you're going to be a customer and you're going to order $50, your shipping is free. This is a magnificent savings. Now, if you are a distribution partner, guess what? At $500 a month, now you get free shipping, and now you're a star achiever. If you want to take that up another level, if you want to take your brain up, your body, your mind, your spirit, your life up another level, then you're going to add cognition 6 minutes a day, every day. And now all of a sudden you got the Star Achiever Plus benefits. And here's the fact. If you want to maximize the compensation plan, you need 4 personally sponsored lines. We can go a little deeper in that. Now that applies at Black Diamond or above. You can do it with 3 good legs up to Blue Diamond, but you're going to need 4 for Black Diamond and above. So very simple quote, Michael LeBeau. Every company's greatest assets are in its customers. Certainly without customers, there is no company. Now, Confucius said this, progress is the complication of simplicity. Do not make this complicated. How are you going to get your first customer? You show up like this wonderful lady. You got a beautiful smile. You got contagious energy. You're happy and excited. That is the formula for success in whatever you're doing. And you just put that out there and you say, you have got to try this. Does it work? Hey, in person, it works a lot better. But Emily Morrow has personally sponsored thousands, that's with plural, thousands, including 800 in a single month, by showing up on Instagram with this type of strategy. You have got to try this. Now, if you're going to text, I'm going to show you later that we have a texting platform, the OG Pulse, which is a partnership with Rapid Funnels, which Organo has put a lot of investment in. A number of us leaders are putting in all the effort we can to make this the most duplicatable strategy to help everybody help. But how about this type of text? Happy beautiful day, Mary. That's my greeting. I have something I want to share with you. Do you have 2 minutes? Well, what am I going to share in 2 minutes? I'm either going to share a coffee video, very, very well done, that takes 2 minutes, or I'm going to share an intro to the opportunity video. Now, face-to-face, in person is way better. In fact, Eric Worre and the mastermind say 10 times better. If you can't be face-to-face in person, how about face-to-face virtual? That's what this is for a lot of us. And then when you start going digital, well, your efficiency, your effectiveness is going to drop down because you haven't made that deep connection. People do want to connect, but with OG Pulse, digital is easier than ever. So now, one of the things that I want to tell you is that first impressions are powerful. Well, now what does that mean? That means we want to show up with a great first impression. You know, if you're going to leave your house, master your energy, put a smile on your face, be ready, willing, and able to add value to the world. People will notice you. If you show up consistently, if you show up happy, they might say, I want some of that. What's your secret sauce? What do you do that makes you so happy? How do you feel so fit and healthy in this crazy, crazy world? Well, let me share with you my favorite biohack, my strategy that is unbeatable. And it's guilt-free, turbocharged, super clean, amazing coffee. Now, Organo's picture there is beautiful. I love the artwork, but I'm going to start stronger than that. I don't want 6 ounces of water in any of my coffee. I want maybe 2. You know, I want espresso strong. And for those of us that like espresso strong, hey, we should have our espresso strong. So when I'm going to make somebody a cup of coffee, always best, hey, how do you like your coffee? Strong, mild, or in between? Believe it or not, the most common answer I get is strong. How strong? Espresso strong? Oh, at least that's strong. Double espresso strong? Yeah, that's strong. Okay, now I'm going to make it super strong. Why? Because we can always dilute. Now, let me tell you about customers. This is very, very simple. If you've got one, you've opened the door. You've proven that you can get a customer. Now, it might be your mom. It might be your best friend. Well, think about that. You have established a relationship. They have a vested interest in your wellness, and maybe to some degree they trust you. I sure hope they trust you. And if they don't, let's step up that game. The speed of trust is the fastest speed in the history of the planet. But if you can get one customer, you can get two. If you can get two, you can get three. If you can get three, you can get 10. Now the magic starts kicking in. I'll show you the money of 10, potentially what it can be, but here's the power. If you can get 10, you can teach someone else to get one. If they can get one, they can get two. If they can get two, they can get three. If they can get three, they can get 10. If they can get 10, they can teach someone else. Now you are off to the races for the greatest progression ever. In fact, Einstein called it the eighth wonder of the world. So put in your own numbers. If I get 10 customers, this is a reasonable distribution of how my customers show up. I'm going to get 7 black customers. I'm going to get 7 latte customers. I'm probably going to get 1 mocha customer. Now, the average coffee drinker in North America, 3.3 cups a day. And with minimal markup, I'm not talking about marking up a ton, less than 50 cents a cup. With those 7 customers, $325 a month. Your 2 latte customers doing 2 a day. Now you're making another $108. Your 1.5 mocha a day customer, you add that all together, and suddenly you're at that magic 500. Now, here's the beautiful thing about what we do. You do the work once, you get paid more than once. There are so many people that are lifetime customers because that first box experience changes them. They realize this is better for my body, mind, and spirit. There's many of us you could not pay to drink another coffee. So I'm a big fan of graphics. I downloaded this from the internet, this idea of learn, do, teach. If I did the diagram differently, I definitely would put learn on top. If you haven't learned, it's hard to do. But once you learn and do, now you can teach. And the intersection of all those wonderful things is what this author is calling leadership. So now, how do you get your first distribution partner? Well, very, very simply, you know, that coffee that you love, that I love, that we both talked about how good it makes you feel. Well, guess what? I created a profitable business fast. And maybe show them that slide I showed you. You know, if you get your own 10 customers, that could be amazing. But again, guess what? Now with OG Pulse, would it be okay if I sent you a 3-minute video that introduces the business? I like that language from Big Al. Would it be okay? Yeah, it'd be okay. When could you watch it? I got 3 minutes right now. Beautiful. I'm going to send it to you. I'd love to call you back in 5 minutes. Does that work for you? Absolutely. Okay, now we're off to the races. So easy, so duplicatable. Download your OG Pulse. You're going to see how well this works. So now you are a star achiever at 500. You have those 10 customers. And you know what? Guess what? We're not going to, make any income claims, but I showed you a potential markup. If you get 10 customers in the model that I showed, that's over $500 a month. Now you got people on a better path to health. We've got people that have been on auto ship, I think now for 12 years, customers that have been on auto ship for 12 years. How does that work? They got it. They liked it. We set them up on auto ship. We never need to remind them. It is super easy for them. And guess what? Now we've got epic stories brewing. But once you figured out how to do that, you get your distribution partners. Why am I showing 4 here? Hey, it's not what's required to go VIP. You can get 1 of each or 2 personally sponsored. But if they are duplicating, if they're getting their 10 customers, and why not? They know the product's good. Why not share it? Now you are a VIP. But look what happens when that duplicates. When your star achievers suddenly become VIP, now you are a platinum elite. Now start taking a look at this. First level, I'm going to say we'll call that level 0, level now. You've got 1 recruiter on your team. Hey, you're a star achiever. You're going to earn some significant money. Look at that level deep. You still got the money from your retail customers. Now you start getting a nice chunk of the efforts of people that are also adding value to the world. Then all of a sudden we start getting to ruby is the next jump when the platinums all duplicate. Then you go to emerald and oh no, not just emerald. You are knocking on the door of diamond. And at the next step, you leapfrog to blue diamond, and then finally crown diamond. And by the way, you want to get to that crown diamond. Next is crown ambassador. Yeah, we got Miss Blanca Secturis, who's done that. Can she model it? Can she teach it? Can she share it? Can you share the strategies? You bet. But I bet they look exactly like this. Why? Because I've talked to her many, many times. She shows up as her best and get her better self, serving from the heart and empowering people so beautifully. So myogacademy.com, if you have not checked that out, you are going to want to check it out. So many beautiful resources and ever expanding. And then OG Pulse. I'll tell the backstory on this. I was introduced to this technology called Rapid Funnels by a team member. And he said, Bob, I vetted this, and this was an influencer, a Tony Robbins coach. He says, this works well. I see this really helping our business take off. If we can get 5 leaders each putting in $5,000, we can get this customized for our team. And I said, let's do it. Well, here's the fascinating thing. 25 grand, it would have been from 5 leaders. I shared this with Paul Caldwell and he said, let me check it out. He does his due diligence. He says, Bob, it's good for the entire ecosystem. Organo's got your back on this. We'll put up to 25K. Well, I promise you they put up more than that and years of effort. And we got plenty of leaders that are adding to it on a consistent basis. Why? Because we know that this platform works. So how about this as a wonderful description of what they offer? A powerful, instantly duplicatable, download and go solution that simplifies prospecting. That's what they say it does. And I'm going to say, and follow up and signups and sales. So what did I do with my OG Pulse? You start looking on the left. That is my home screen. I could probably get rid of a lot of those apps, but the one that I'm going to use most often, I'm going to put that right on the bottom. And that is my OG Pulse on the auto screen, no matter what screen I am on. Then you start looking. You can start looking at context. You can start looking at resources. You start looking at different things like training and scalability and even more than that. And they'll even rate your contacts. So Mr. Tony Slinger, I basically, had a conversation with him and I shared with him about the coffee. And he said, okay, that sounds interesting. Would you like to learn more? Sure. Then I shared with him, okay, here's what I did. I clicked on my beverage. I stepped on my presentation. I shared the very brief intro on the beverage, and I have a choice. I could email it, less effective. I could text it. In my world, that's most effective, but there's also a way for you to send it through the app to Messenger. Now, they're going to expand some of that as well, but if you don't want to do those, you can copy and paste, but the way it's set up to use those 3 platforms are easiest on the follow-up. So what happened with Tony Slinger? He saw how easy it was. He says, wow, let me share this with some people I know. First month, I'll call him a VIP. Not really. We didn't have the conversation. I had no idea he was going to go that fast. Didn't have the right structure. He had the volume. He didn't have the structure. Well, we fixed that the second month. So the second month, somewhere in the month, he went VIP. Then a few weeks later, he went platinum. And guess what? He's not slowing down. He's not stopping. He understands that this is so good for our wonderful world. So now this is my version of the opportunity presentation. This is the opportunity of a lifetime. And I think to call it anything else is really shortchanging it. I've been on this planet a long time at this point, longer than probably most people watching this. My 60th year here, and I've seen plenty of opportunities. I've taken plenty of opportunities. I've made money with plenty of opportunities, but there's nothing like this. It is so scalable, so repeatable, so duplicatable, so impactful, and yes, so profitable. So let's start with this simple question. So what if your best life was just a few simple changes away? Because guess what? All of our best lives could be just that. So imagine this, waking up each day with more energy, clarity, and purpose. Remember, without purpose, we perish. So we certainly want to get connected to that purpose. Envision a life where your goals seem within your reach, your relationships flourish, and your overall well-being is enhanced. Well, guess what? All of that is available through Organo, and we've been sharing these beautiful treasures since 2008. Now, I don't want you to bypass that at all. How many companies make it through 1 year? Tony Robbins says about half. How about 5 years? Not many. How about 10 years? I think the number is 4%, and that doesn't mean you're profitable. Here we are, 16 years, growing and thriving, committed to better than ever. Now, as part of my mastermind, they said, look, become your own brand. Why? Because that is very, very powerful. Think about The Rock. He's got one of the most powerful brands on the planet right now. And what's that worth? That's worth millions. How did he get there? Hey, listen, you could argue he's genetically gifted. He had a lot of things that other people didn't. Here's what I'm going to tell you. You look and you get behind the scenes of what The Rock has done. He works on his craft hour after hour, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, decade after decade. And if you do that consistently, I promise you, your life is going to improve exponentially. The brand that I ultimately settled on, and then I was, playing with that for a long, long time. It took me a while to come up with it. Wellness transformation expert. By the way, I've got the stripes, I've got the resume, I've got the credibility to suggest that, having worked with world champion athletes, having worked with the critically ill and everybody in between. But this is my favorite vehicle of total wellness transformation. Body, mind, spirit, life, impact, all are on the table for this. So recall, our proven path to better starts with a better you, sharing better products with better systems in a better business model. And let's give this some legs. Let's give it some teeth. Let's make it absolutely undisputable that what we're offering offers all of these things. So I'd like to say this is common sense, but common sense is not very common. A better you makes the world better. When you show up as your best you, that's the best you can do for the world on any given day. One of my great mentors said this: we all have the same purpose, even though life will bring us many, many, many missions. Well, what is that purpose? To show up as our best, and I like to say, in getting better self, in service to something bigger than ourselves. So look what Jim Rohn said. By the way, go look at him. Poor farm boy from Idaho, still absolutely phenomenal training that surpassed him. His legacy lives beyond him. But the poor farm boy from Idaho, look at his net worth at time of death, $500 million. How do you do it? Network marketing. But what's the secret sauce behind that? Income seldom exceeds personal development. I want a lot of income, therefore I better develop a lot, was his strategy. So this is Robin Sharma. Absolutely love Robin Sharma. Been binging on his wisdom lately. But he talks about the 4 interior empires of history makers, peoples that are going to make a mega difference in the world. And he says, I'd use a different order. Health set. Why? Because if you're not healthy, nothing else matters. Heart set. When you come from a position of love, people don't tend to question your motives. Mindset, hey, I will until, and how about soul set? What are you going to leave behind? How are you going to impact the world? What is your spirit calling for? And by the way, I happen to believe all our spirits are connected, and all of our spirits come from the same source, and we are all mostly spirit. Think about that. Then we've got our belief set, we've got our skill set, and we've got our work set. Bob Bird, the book is called The Go-Giver. Great read. I've probably read it 5 times. Maybe I'm due for another 5. But he has what he calls the law of influence. And what does the law of influence say? Our influence, your influence, my influence is determined by how abundantly we place other people's needs first. Now, I want you to think about that. If someone always wants to take something from you, how much time do you want to spend with them? If someone always wants to give you something to you, I don't care if it's a smile. I don't care if it's a compliment. I don't care if it's a warm greeting. I don't care if it's tough love, because tough love has a lot of value too. If always someone wants to give it to you, give something to you, how do you feel around that person? Hopefully good. And by the way, when you're delivering tough love, do it from a position of genuine love, genuine caring. And I think Lisa Nichols told this to Marina Wari one time. She says, look, if you're gonna serve something, you can either serve it on a garbage can, tough love on a garbage can, probably not too received, or you could serve it on a beautiful silver platter with love. Which are you going to choose? I'm going to choose that beautiful silver platter with love. And someone who personifies this, Maya Angelou, she said this: People will forget what you said. People forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. I want you to think about that. I think about my interactions with people. When people made me feel good, when people made me feel valued, when I felt loved, when I felt honored, hey, I felt good. And I have such good feelings about that. Less than that, I felt less than that. So why not show up as our best self with that, our mission, to help people to feel good about who they are and where they're going. So Mary Kay Ash, Mary Kay Cosmetics, millions, tens of millions, great company, still in existence today. She said most people are walking around with a little invisible sign. This one's invisible sign on their forehead saying this: make me feel important. It should be with a please and 14 exclamation points, because people do want to feel important. So let's talk about our better products. And by the way, I want you to pay attention, because I believe this is the most up-to-date, most expansive presentation on why our products are better. So first of all, they're delicious and award-winning with Amazon convenience. Now, it's especially convenient when you have automatic reorders, auto ship. Why? Because you do the work once, you set up your order, and then until your credit card expires, you don't ever need to do it again, unless you want to change it. Change it as often as you want. At Walmart, like bargain prices with supercharged health benefits. Now, I want you to think about that one more time. We have a delicious award-winning products with Amazon convenience, Walmart like bargain prices, and supercharged health benefits. That is a magic quartet. Fun quote here. I especially got a kick out of that when I found it. Our culture runs on coffee and gasoline, the first often tasting like the second. And here's the worst part of it: often not being much healthier than that. And I'm going to show you the data behind that. So how about this? What's lurking in your coffee? And I'm going to show you undisputable evidence that if people aren't doing their due diligence, if they're not testing the raw materials, if they're not testing it after it's processed, if they're not creating it in GMP certified facilities, which by the way is most of the coffee in the world, then you don't know, and they don't know what's in that coffee. But we know what's in ours, and we make it so verifiable with our products trust. So I'm going to go to the National Library of Health, National Institutes of Medicine database, and PubMed. You can see the citations there. I could have made it more clear on the one about pesticides in coffee. Sorry about that. I blew up the others. But how much coffee has mold and mycotoxins? Well, this particular deep study actually showed 53%, more than half. Now, does the brewing process change it? No. Does the roasting process change it? I shouldn't say not much. It's still there after roasting. It's still there after brewing. So how do we avoid that? We get coffee that doesn't have mold. Do we test ours? You better believe it. Now let's talk about heavy metals. Yeah, they're in coffee, but lead is the one that is most concerning. And then I want you to look. We have a competitor, not that we have any competition, right? We like the world to do good things, but a company that had an infused coffee that they were claiming was so healthy, and now they're being sued for lead in the coffee. Now, I don't think they put it in there in purpose. Lead can appear in coffee. So how do we prevent that? We make sure it's not in the bean. Then we don't have to worry about it in the final product, but we test it every step of the way. What about pesticides? The number two commodity in the entire world, possibly the number one cash crop in the entire world. Most of these use pesticides to the level that this actually creates concerns for overall public health. And then how about hormone disruptors? Never have we been in a history of humanity where I believe the confusion about what we are in terms of gender, I can't imagine anything that could be confusing. You're born how you're born. But thank God I was born healthy and in a good family. But what if I was loaded with endocrine disruptors? What if my secondary sexual characteristics didn't develop? What if I was some kind of hybrid because I was poisoned with these things that disrupt our hormones? And the most common hormone disruptors are estrogen type related. And here's what they found out very, very simply. They find these things in coffee, and especially coffee that's run through machines. And by the way, the mold can be higher in those as well. So what's our strategy? How about we don't use machines? How about we get pre-brewed, excellent, certified, clean, verifiably clean coffee? Then you don't worry about the mold. Then you don't worry about the lead. Then you don't worry about the pesticides. Then you don't worry about the hormone disruptors. And we prove it and we verify it and we put our money where our mouth is. Organo has invested, I believe Paul Caldwell said, millions in creating this product trust. Why? Because nothing sells like the speed of trust. Nothing moves at the speed of trust. Now, in North America, the average coffee drinker drinks 3.3 cups a day. In Finland, it's 9 cups a day. But I decided to ask AI, ChatGPT, how many cups of coffee will the average coffee drinker drink in a lifetime? Well, if they started at age 18 and they lived to 80, that's going to be 62 years of drinking coffee. And by the way, they just calculated at 2.5 cups a day, which is probably, according to them, the global average, less than the US average. How does that spell out over an average lifetime? Over 56,000 cups. Now, I want you to think about that. If you were influenced by something 56,000 times, and multiple times daily from 18 to 80, would you want that to be a good influence? Well, I'm betting you would. So what's lurking in your coffee? If you're not drinking ours, you have no idea. If you are drinking ours, you know, you can verify it, you can trace it, you can scan a barcode, you can look right here, right now. How were these tested? What was the processing? What did they find? And here's what we find. We crush the competition and we publish it. Go look on Organo's websites and see. They don't name the competition. Why? They don't want to name and shame. They're just hoping everybody will elevate their game. And that's what really life is all about. So everything compounds. If you are whittling away at your health every single day with every single sip, you're probably going to die earlier and die more miserable and have a harder, well, you can't show up as your best self. You just simply can't unless you're doing your best things. I'm putting the best things in your body. You cannot show up as your best self. Then I love that picture on the right. That is a blue zone fisherman. He's over 100 years old. And he has joy at his health, his fitness, and the fish that he feeds his family and his community. So let's go with Warren Buffett's wisdom, the greatest investor of all time, arguably anyway. Some people say others might be better, but he's right up there. Certainly a sage. He said, what you do should be your hobby. What the world does should be your business. And the world drinks coffee. How much? To the tune of 2.5 billion, with a B, billion cups every single day. Big shout out to my awesome son, Jacob. Our team catchphrase now, friends don't let friends drink moldy coffee. That's going to push some buttons on a lot of people. Is it moldy if it's not ours? We don't know. Is it toxic? We don't know. Is ours? No way. Is ours toxic? No way. And we have even better to go with that. But most people can't understand the magnitude of the market that we have. So 1 billion years ago, only single-celled organisms existed on planet Earth. 1 billion days ago was the Ice Age with woolly mammoths. 1 billion hours ago was the Old Stone Age. 1 billion minutes ago was the Roman Empire. 1 billion seconds ago was 31.7 years ago. Many of the people building huge organizations around the world weren't even born 31.7 years ago. 1 billion cups of coffee ago, less than 11 hours ago. I want you to think about that. Every 10 hours and 40 minutes, another billion, another billion, another billion. Are those doses of health? Not often enough. Are they doses of Organo? Here's what I'm going to tell you. Not often enough. Are we better? Yeah. Can we prove it? Yeah. And all you got to do is experience it. And we are certified clean. Scan the barcode, look at it, see how we compare. And you know what? If you have nothing to fear, then you don't worry about being transparent. We are totally transparent. It is one of our company's amazing values. Our quality certifications, I've lectured for some of the top nutrition companies around the world. No one, and I do mean no one that I've lectured for, and I've lectured for the best of the best, can match this level of quality certification. So I decided to ask AI, ask ChatGPT, listen, what about medicinal mushrooms? And this is what came back. I didn't ask about reishi. I didn't ask about lion's mane. I didn't ask about cordyceps. I asked about medicinal mushrooms. And what did it name? Reishi. Why? Because it's the top. Lion's mane. Why? Currently number 2. Why cordyceps? Currently number 3. Here they are. Medicinal mushrooms like reishi, also known as Ganoderma, lion's mane, and cordyceps have been revered. Revered. What is revered? That's a pretty high status for centuries, not yesterday, not last week, not last month, not since 2008, for centuries. Why? Their profound health benefits. And what did AI say? It says they boost immunity. Hey, PubMed agrees. We can make that claim. You can back that one up. Canada's allowed to make that claim with their natural products number. They enhance cognitive function. Well, especially lion's mane. That's why we added it to the mix. And they improve energy levels, all three. And by the way, I'm going to say that all three absolutely do all three. And how do you get all this? Whatever flavor you want, for whatever palate you have, for whatever age you are, even like hot cocoa for kids, $1 to $3 a cup. Now, let me share with you what is so fascinating about this. And how about this as a question? We like to call this a no-brainer, which means you could take your brain out, put it on the table, look at it, and still make the right decision. Would you prefer to pay less for a delicious, healthier, alkalizing, certified, cleaner coffee? Or would you prefer to pay more for a less healthy, acidic, most likely toxic coffee? Now, why do I say most likely? Hey, the literature shows that. Do we know what we're getting? We do with Organo. Do you know what the other companies? Unfortunately not. Maybe they can all step up their game to make the world better. So this is a valid comparison of cost versus value. Would you rather pay way more for a Honda Accord, or would you rather pay a Honda Accord price for an S-Class Mercedes value? Then you start looking at what it says. Here's what it says. There's again our ChatGPT, OpenAI. What's the average price of coffee on the world? $1.50 to $4, which, by the way, is what we sell ours at full retail. How about specialty coffee? $3 to $7. What do we sell our coffee for? Well, I'll go with that $1.50 to $4. I actually sell it for $3 a cup, but you can go to $4, $1.50 to $4, as opposed to paying $3 to $7. So we are giving Mercedes quality at Honda Accord prices. Now, I love T. Harv Eker. You know, so many great quotes, a lot of great wisdom. His Millionaire Mind, read it multiple times. But I want you to just think about this for a minute. It's humorous, it's funny, and in my experience, accurate. Rich people believe you can have your cake and eat it too. Middle-class people believe the cake is too rich, so I'll only have a little piece. Poor people don't believe they deserve cake, so they order a donut, focus on the whole, and wonder why they have nothing. I want you to think about that. What are you focusing on? How deserving are you? And what does the word deserve come from? Well, very, very simply, de from service, de serve. From service is what makes you deserve. So serve as many as you can, and you are going to deserve much more. So now, not making a claim here, Ganoderma has amazing blood sugar benefits. There are 162 PubMed citations on Ganoderma and its positive benefits for diabetes at the level of the pancreas, at the level of the cell, certainly for blood sugar regulation, for microbiome, all these wonderful things. But here's what I'm going to tell you. Don't take PubMed's word. Don't take my word. You experience yourself. Test your blood sugar before and after. They now have wearables. I'm wearing an Oura Ring. And I count my steps and my sleep and all those other things, but I've now bought a wearable that will track my blood sugar 24/7, 365, as long as I keep it charged. Now, why is that important? Blood sugar is a big problem. If you have a blood sugar problem, make sure that you don't do anything that elevates your blood sugar, because it is not in your best interest. People are beginning to notice. The world is beginning to notice. We call this third-party evidence. So we appear in Women's Health. We appear in Women's Day. We appear in Good Housekeeping. We appear in Vogue. And by the way, we appear in Forbes. Now, Forbes discusses what? How about business? How about success? And Organo, as an expert recommended brand of mushroom coffee, is what Forbes is highlighting. Then if you're going to use our auto ship, I don't care if you're a distribution partner, hey, you can get your auto ship. In fact, and then of course, if you are a online customer, you can also get your auto ship. It saves time and money. Why time? Put your order in once. It repeats every month. Why money? Organo will give you a discount. What about our better, cleaner, all natural skincare, our beautiful BU line? How about cognition, unleashing your brain's potential at 6 minutes more a day, unlocking the benefits of the Star Achiever Plus? By the way, if you're not a Star Achiever, you need to be. Kelly and I have almost a house full of gifts, and they're not little trinkets. We got beautiful bathrobes. We've got great cups. We've got luggage tags. We've got amazing things from the Star Achiever program. Here's what I'll tell you. Organo knows how to take care of those who take care of Organo. The better you take care of Organo, the better Organo takes care of you. Use your cognition. You'll take care of Organo better because you'll show up better, stronger, faster, smarter, and Organo will take better care of you. And then how about the best travel price guarantee on the planet through our Navi? And by the way, when you purchase or have retail sales, you accumulate credits towards your travel. So you save even more. Literally something for everybody. I don't start any day without Organo soap, toothpaste, followed by coffee. Soap, toothpaste, followed by coffee. By the way, I really recommend that strategy. Wash your face, good way to start. Wash your hands, good way to start. Brush your teeth. I was presenting this at a functional medicine conference. There was a functional medicine dentist there. He said, my God, that's the best toothpaste I've ever seen. No fluoride, no sodium lauryl sulfate. That's what SLS is. All the other goodness. You can have a smile that is absolutely fantastic. By the way, some people don't brush their teeth before their coffee. They think it makes it taste strange. Let me give you another clue. Oil swish. I swish with coconut oil every single morning. You'll pour most stuff out of your mouth. You'll also now get your palate ready for that absolutely delicious, amazing, epic, proven clean cup of coffee. This is a picture of Ray Kroc, possibly the master of systems. I don't know if McDonald's is still the most successful franchise in the world, but they've served billions and billions and billions and billions. Who knows if they'll ever get to trillions, but how did he do it? He did it with better systems. So here's his quote. Our aim was to ensure repeat business based on the system's reputation rather than the quality of a single operator. Notice he said the system's reputation. What was it? Fast food. You show up, it's ready super fast. So it's not operator dependent. It is system dependent. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you. Ours is both. We have great systems, but you better be a good operator. And if you're not a good operator, point to one. Share from the heart. And they say, I want to know more about this business. Awesome. Let me connect you on a 3-way call to my plugged in upline who represents my value system. Ray Kroc was the guy that was credited with saying this first. We always use it for network marketing. You are in business for yourself, but not by yourself. So what is a system? Well, let's look at this acronym, systems. I'll go basically with it in the plural. Save yourself serious time, energy, money, and stress. What do? We share coffee, we share resources, and sometimes that's pointing to an expert, and we teach others to do the same. We've got My OG Academy, which is awesome and getting better by the day. We've got the OG Pulse app, which I also shared with you the intro to that. And now there's a little more expansion of the screens and the available courses and the resources and the taps that are available. And notice, we just don't have beverages. We don't just have the opportunity. We've got in there on Navi. We've got Cognition. We've got BU. And then here's a tool that I would love for you to for people to own. Eric Worre copyrights it. You can go to his YouTube channel and watch it. It's called Rise of the Entrepreneur. Bob Proctor, Tony Robbins, Paul Zane Pilsner, Ed Milet, Richard Branson, Warren Buffett, Grant Cardone, all huge, amazing fans of network marketing. They call it the best business or belief building tool. Sorry, they call it network marketing the best business model, the greatest starting point for anybody that's an entrepreneur. And I believe that the Rise movie is the best building tool. I've watched it at least 5 times. How important is belief? Wayne Dyer, sage of wisdom, phenomenally successful author. He said, you'll see it when you believe it, not vice versa. So what are you going to see in your life? What you start to believe. Now, is there social proof about Organo? 16 years, people wearing big, hefty, beautiful diamond-studded rings from the team they built, from the contribution they made. The social proof is there. So Eric Worre, I believe, is He may go down as the best trainer in the history, certainly to date, I believe he is, of network marketing. Jim Rohn, by the way, in that class, but Eric's taken it to a whole new level. If you have an entrepreneurial bone in your body, network marketing, while not perfect, is just better. You show me something perfect. No, it doesn't exist here on planet Earth, but it is better. And I might even say it's just the best. We're not perfect. We're just the best. So I asked AI, I asked ChatGPT, is network marketing a scam? The answer is no, it absolutely is not. When people are saying this, we have it easier than ever to prove it. Network marketing, also known as multi-level marketing, is a legitimate business model. Period. End of story. Now they share the characteristics of a legitimate. Flip-flop that, you'll get the illegitimate, but very, very simply, product focused. Hey, we all have been told from the very beginning, or if you haven't, you're hearing it now, get your 10 customers, get your 10 customers, get your 10 customers, be product focused, have a very transparent compensation plan. We log in every single day. How's our team? How's our volume? Do we have new members? Do we have new rank advancements? What are we getting paid? Hey, it's so fun to log in every day and see your money go up. And by the way, if you have a bunch of first of the month star achievers, we have already gone Ruby as early as noon, the first day of the month. Now, I want you to think about that. Most people would consider that a great lifetime achievement. How about the first day of the month? When you start getting first of the month star achiever with 500 plus, you are going to get your team taken off. We call that mental momentum. Reasonable startup cost? How about no startup cost? There are plenty of people that have built a big business by not buying inventory and selling it. They sell it, then they buy it. Just that simple. I think about people that didn't have the money to start. Hey, it doesn't take money to get started. It takes energy and enthusiasm. Go door to door, knock on the door. When the Girl Scouts knock on your door selling cookies, do they have the cookies? Been a while since I've seen one, but they didn't have the cookies. What they do? They take an order. We can do that too. Whoever's door we need to knock on with that big smile and that loving heart, get them to try your coffee. Get them to commit. Deliver it after they pay. No inventory loading. You don't have to buy a $10,000 starting package. Now, how about this? I asked ChatGPT, I asked AI, I asked the intelligence of the universe, the consensus, what makes network marketing better than traditional business? That was my question. Here's their answer. Low startup costs, flexibility. They call it residual income. I'm going to call it royalty income. Do the work once, get paid more than once. Scalability. Sachin Patel has multiple million-dollar businesses. He said, nothing scaled this fast. I'm going to tell you the same thing. Kelly and I have been blessed with multiple million-dollar businesses, meaning many, many, many million-dollar businesses. Nothing scaled like this. Personal development with a compensation plan, support and timing like this call, more experts coming, community and networking, all available to you. Now, this ChatGPT also said, certainly network marketing has its challenges. Hey, no challenge, no reward. It's just that simple. But here's what they said. Success in network marketing typically requires significant effort. I'm going to give that a 99.9%. I don't know. Maybe The Rock could say, hey, I joined a network marketing company. Join me. I make 100 gazillion, right? Effective communication. Yeah. And remember, what you are speaks much louder than anything you say or do. And the ability to build and maintain a large network. Okay. That's what ChatGPT said. Build, lead, and inspire, then maintain a large network. And if you lead and inspire, maintaining it would be automatically. We were featured in Success for Home. We crossed $1 billion in sales before there were apps, before there was widespread social media. How we do it? With better products served in a better way. Jack Welch was considered the top CEO of the entire last century. He said this, if you do not have a competitive advantage, don't compete. What's our competitive advantage? 2 patented processes. You know what that means? People can't copy us. Do they want to? You better believe it. Are they trying to? Absolutely. Can they? No way. It is not possible. We have patent protected processes. Binging on Robin Sharma lately, really love his wisdom. The bigger the dream, the more important the team. And now we've got the 8th wonder of the world, compounding. Now that 1 to 10, well, let's start out first with your 10 customers. You're one who gets 10 customers and keep getting customers. Why stop at 10? Emily Morrow has thousands. Yeah, she has thousands. Why wouldn't she stop at 10? Why stop? You're making the world better every time you share this product. Just that simple. Then ultimately, maybe the 10 customers become distribution partners, and suddenly you get 100, 1,000, 10,000, and even more. And Bob Berg's law of compensation is this: you get paid to depending upon how many people you help and how much you help them. Well, if you can help millions every day, multiple times a day, even just a little bit. And what's a little bit? How about a Mercedes copy versus a Honda Accord? How about certified clean compared to who knows what? There is no comparison. Richard Bliss, one of my great mentors. I love him. I think he's the best philosophical teacher in all of network marketing. He's just a rock solid, great human who's been every part of the network marketing system and model, including a company owner. His 4-year career book, great read, epic read, read it multiple times. But here's a fact. The average network marketing company pays about a split. They keep 60% and pay out 40. Organo's typically been 50-50. And then they pay about 7%. Here's my experience. Our team, 12 years running, over $51 million in reorders. We beat that. We beat that. We beat that. How fun. So now, what if you can get people, 10,000 people with $100 a month? Hey, how tough is it to do $100 a month? It's not that hard. If you drink a couple King a day, you're close. If you use the soap and toothpaste, if you use some of the BU, if you occasionally book a travel, you are going to be there. You are going to be at that $100 a month. Then you're at that $1 million a month sales. Do your math. You got to have a strong team to get 7% or more, but do your math. That would be 4 working legs of business. Most people are going to call that dream life money. I don't know how many people in our entire world ever get to there, but plenty within the Organo ecosystem have done it, are doing it, and will do it to come. So this is one of the co-founders of Paul Mitchell Hair Products, his billionaire's advice for life. He says, look, you don't want to be in the sales business. Why? Because then you got to make another sale and another sale and another sale. You know, I remember Zig Ziglar talking about, he says, yeah, at first I wasn't very good at sales. And his wife said, what do you mean? You sold our car, you sold our house, you sold everything we own. Yeah, to pay the bills. Then he got good at sales. How did he get good at sales? By telling people what they wanted to hear in a way they wanted to hear it, through stories. But John Paul DeJorian says this. He says, you don't want to be in the sales business. You do want to be in the reorder business. And I believe that coffee may be the best reorder product in history. If there's one better, I haven't heard about it. You know, there's people that are making money. You know, there's a guy making $700,000 a month. I kid you not, selling perfume. I told this story the other day. I bought Kelly a wonderful bottle of perfume that she wanted, I don't know, 5 Christmases ago. I spent a small fortune on it. 2/3 of the bottle she still has. She uses it when she wants to. Most people are not bathing in perfume. If you are, there's some people that don't handle perfume very effectively. So what's our proven path? Well, very, very simply, a better you, sharing better products with better tools and systems in a better business model. And very, very simply, your best life could be a few simple changes away. Jim Rohn said this. He called them the questions to ponder. And when I used to use this within my presentations, I would ask, you know, would you like to take your better body, brain, and beautiful skin to wonderful places and enjoy deliciousness? Mercedes quality at Honda Accord price would be how I would change that. That's a really good question. But here was Jim Rohn's 4 questions to ponder. So why? You know, second question was the answer to the first. Why not? What are you going to do while you're here? Why not enhance the lives of as many as you can in a system that's built to do it with leverage and profit? Next question, why not you? Someone's going to be the next VIP. Someone's going to commit to this. And if you do, you start unwinding the world of possibility. And here's the final question, why not now? So here's the reality. The longer you wait to act on information, the least likely you are to act on it. So I am going to wrap up with these words. I am Dr. Bob Rakowski, absolutely knowing that we are meant to be happy, healthy, and successful. We have strategies to help with all of the above. So wherever you are in our wonderful world, I will say this: good night if you're where the sun's setting, good morning if where the sun is rising, and God bless wherever you are.